He's an express how such who include monitored the British Prime League above the history 8 months include grown up used to. Meeting downward within Liverpool's Anfield Arena the day following, counting a key purpose in the Champions League quarter-final other foot, Namaz is in a weakened sentiment. Less than rather than 12 several hours over, Namaz had scored his 39th purpose of the time of year in Liverpool's 2-1 win above Manchester Town, send the clubhouse via to the recent four persons of Europe soccer's largest prestigious contest. Tiring a dark with a hood vaulter and torn thin dark denim, he slow finishes off his coffee as he looks out through the Anfield sod following a restoration meeting at the neighbouring Learning Land. I loving how, while I was a kid, how I was game the game console as Liverpool, Namaz jokes. For such who include been lucky, quite, to look Namaz the time of year, it would not be an overstatement to propose how several of his amateur performance include emerging to be of a virtual fact. His burning step, that would include leftward largest play comfort players in repeated tension trauma in their continuous press of the button on their phone, has been supplemented by infallible precision in front line of purpose. And still, for lot who include accompanied British soccer, Namaz's exploits include go as thing of a surprise party. Namaz is not shy in his evaluation how he was seldom taking into account a opportunity for an bad-fated incantation in Chelsea in 2014 by later trainer Jose Mourinho. But Namaz, although established and aspiring, does not blackbird on his artistic achievements, though while comparisons are painted in Barcelona's Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. I'll keep how for the human beings to solve, he says while requested if Same's the tertiary top gamer in the planet. Microphones away, and the shrill breeze acrid via the holes in his denim, Namaz makes his way behind within to the family member heat of the Enterprise carton. Of down there, he's in the car and a brief driving to the following location for our interviewing, the Upward Inn on Polar John Road. Cars don't concern him, Namaz says. But meal does. That is lucky taking into account how the following portion of the interviewing conducted location above lunch. Consuming kashari in Egypt heads rotate and grumbling starts as he begins to go to the spreadsheet, although the thing Namaz has grown up used to with he arriving on Merseyside. Namaz sits downward and revenue to procedure the lax fillet, that comes in bao root vegetables, samphire, smoke onion and fry mash. He's equitable to say how he has yet to discover UK kitchen to his flavor, although he confesses he has tested a conventional pie as minnow and shavings. No one include very hit the place, he concedes. Food is so essential, he's portion of the play, he says. It has helping in my restoration, permitted me to sleeping superior and helping my flesh adjust rapidly. He adds, my dietitian says how since I don't include any fat on my flesh, I can eat which I wish. I as well don't sip so he's penalty. Instead of, he prefers an Egyptian meal named kashari, that is done of rice, paste and lentils, crowned in tomato paste dressing, chickpeas and grilled leek. While I go behind to Egypt, I urge my boyfriend of the aeroport to buy kashari for us to eat in the vehicle, he says. I drag my robe above my chief, leap in the car and later I'm consuming it direct off. Say of Egypt and household is overall for the talk and not fair for the meal, each. Namaz successful in England is a resource of vast honor to such behind household in Egypt. In reality, unto accountable, such a is the servility creature sophisticated on Namaz how it gained him hundreds and thousands of composa-in votes in March's president poll. So, maybe he's in slight surprise party how he prefers to hold oneself to oneself while he does back household in a bid to flee the social blinding. But Namaz is aware of his statute in Egypt, a statute that was future enlarged by the 95th minute fine he scored for the domestic crew in October to email his nation to its at first Planet Cup with 1990. And he's as well why he has undertaken a part in and against drugs campaigning behind in Egypt in and try to use his plate for nice. He's a big liability, he says of the consumer expectations located on him. I sense he. Egypt's amount, 1, indicates how lot eyes are observer him. If you say just on Egypt, we are 100 millionth, he says. I include to be nature and not making whatever counterfeit, not lie on public print in interviews and lifetime. The is my lifetime, he's an lightweight lifetime. He's not complex. I include anything lot to do for the day, but he's a liability in the late. It requires several balance sheet, that Namaz serially notes and later downplays. Thou include to get it lightweight and conduct on. I'm not nerve on how, he says. He's as well a slight bit hard since you don't include the liberty to do mistakes or thing incorrect. How's blood pressure, but while thou been by blood pressure for lot year you can transactions in it. He's penalty. Blood pressure and consumer expectations. If down there is any blood pressure on Namaz, he does not show it. Tranquility, weakened and lucky to say, he does not seem to be fazed by the enlarged blood pressure creature sophisticated on his shoulders. For Egypt, he represents the jewelry in the corona of its domestic crew and the man on all hopes otherwise. Liverpool has excited via the contest invincible so distant, and its win above Prime League defend Manchester Town underline its authorities in Europe's largest prestigious cup contest. But as Namaz's purpose coincide has grown up, he has scored 8 in the contest so far, so too much, include consumer expectations. It makes me job stronger, he says of the fans' consumer expectations. It makes me offer all, more than rather than up, since now down there's more than blood pressure. All is looking for you to do thing. While I didn't score in one play, they told, strike, same's game ill. He adds, all is waiting thing in every play I'm game. I don't include to score in each play, but I wish to do my top. I wish to offer all for the clubhouse, for my teammates and myself as well. Is how Mo Namaz. He's not fair. Liverpool fans who include undertaken Namaz to cardiac, although the whole town appears to include adoptee him. Walk on Albert Ducks the next date, crowds start to collect with emotion as they capture a glimmer of Namaz. Diners go out of restaurants to get their photos, time other see one day, and later slide behind nearly once in a see how says, not, it can't constitute. Is how Mo Namaz, one man says with emotion, time hard to get a picture, his thumb always sliding through the incorrect button as the windows on his telephone outdoor and shut. My woman's a Liverpool fan and she completely loves him. Looking on, the person's woman fair seems to include be suppressed in upheaval. The is fair wonderful, she says with emotion. He negotiations on a town that has done him sense at household and of a society that has been hospitable and polite, although he concedes how incite the regional emphasis remnant a problem. Videos of the fans singing Namaz's behalf include lost virus, and are though famous within the wardrobe chamber in his teammates. He's a large sense to include thick felt the loving of my at first day there, he says of his period in Liverpool. He's a specific sense for me. He's thing how makes me job stronger, believe more than favorable, and all is looking at you to do thing each play. He reflects once again on the consumer expectations compressed on him. He's as well more than blood pressure, but he's thing enormous to be there in the town. He's thing various. Liverpool myth walk through to the neighboring Beatles Museum, one of the town's largest famous visitor landmarks. Namaz once again stops for photos and top 5 time one dame just shouts, I loving thou. How's Mo Namaz, isn't he? A gent asks his affiliate, time hard to crane his cervix to get a superior type. Mo headlight? How's not Mo headlight, she says scornfully as Namaz walks downward the stairs and in the entry. Within the museum, household to all you would always wish to, or requirement to aware on the Beatles, Namaz's present is start to divert a few of the visitors. For one team of high school family, the emotion is fair to lot. Is how Mo Namaz? Is how Mo Namaz? I loving Mo Namaz, says one school child who is newcomer in his grade of Polar Wales. The team of school children start to serenade him in else Mo Namaz chant, time operating to get nearer to him rather than lot. Prime League defenders include controlled the time of year up clicking a selfie. As the family look Namaz execute a brief real recital, their teaching staff try to knob the increasing feeling of emotion time at once recognition how any hopes they had of their grade concentrating on their class schedule had been blown up off. Outgoing the team over, Namaz walks on, take in the photos and piece of music of Liverpool's largest renowned gang up manufacturing the brief driving to the Beatles image on the coastline. Following pause for more than photos, he eventually channel up near John, Gender, George and Ringo. Could the lead of Liverpool's Amazing Three stake a image one day on in comrade forward Roberto Firmino and Sadio Crest? For currently, Namaz fair laughs. But for a man who can do no incorrect, do not bet versus it.